Hello YouTube family, I hope you're all doing well. My name is Lakna for anyone new, and in this video I'm going to talk about April, some of my intuitive, Vedic, numerology and some tarot insights for April. And we have almost completed March, which has been a really transformative month because we have just moved out of the eclipses, and of course March was very fitting to have the tarot of the Death card and the Emperor. So we have been in this energy of shifting, transforming, transmuting, releasing old identities and programs and just ways of living and existing that haven't been serving us, have literally been needing to die. And I feel when the Death tarot comes up, it is like a purge that needs to take place, because when things die, they need to literally be purged out of you. So illness and weird emotional purges and reactions and symptoms that may seem strange can come up because you're literally releasing and like letting go of old stagnant energies and blocks, and they need to come out of you somehow. For me, I had a huge block of time in March where my asthma flared up, and I have had asthma since I was little, but for years I thought I had cured it. Thought I had completely healed my asthma, but it did come back up again, which I think was also partly due to being in interstate in Melbourne, which I know the pollen there is really bad, but I think it was also a very deeply spiritual purge that was taking place, because like asthma is connected to your lungs, connected to your heart area, your heart chakra, and I have been doing so much heart opening work, and it just aligns with, like, obviously if there's stagnant energy there, it needs to be purged out. And some, like, I don't know if that resonates for you, but if you're feeling burnt out or unwell or like super emotional, or if anything is coming up, it may be like a ascension symptom or like some sort of like a recalibration taking place in your body, or your mind or your soul in any type of way. So we had the Death tarot in March, and then we also had the Emperor. So March has been wanting us to really reclaim our power like the emperors or empresses that we are, and the Emperor really teaches us to be really like that main character of our life, in full control and being the authority of our life, and not letting anything or anyone else control us. And that requires taking full accountability, full responsibility, which can be a lot of responsibility when you do take full responsibility, but it is also the most empowering way to live, because then you know that you are fully in control of consciously and intentionally creating your entire world and your entire life. So yeah, March has been a pretty powerful month, and now moving into April, which is the number 14 in numerology, and 14 is the temperance, and then the number 5, which you add up 14 plus 5, is the Hierophant. So these are the two major tarots for April, and there is themes coming up with the Temperance is like the 2 cups is a lot to do with blending energies, blending and alchemizing and transmuting and bringing 2 elements together, or 2 different energies or number of energies together. And I see this as really blending new wisdom into our life, so that we can create new and we can bring in new energy post the death, post the release, and recalibration of what hasn't been serving us. We're now bringing in this new energy, and we're also blending that with the old traditional wisdoms as well, because the Hierophant is a lot to do with traditional known ways of living and connecting in groups and belief systems, and like it has a lot to do with things like religion and just groups and communities that connect based on a mutual belief system. And when I see these two cards together, especially coming after the March month of the Emperor and the Death, like we being in full control and authority of our life, it's like this card of the Hierophant wants us to question if the groups and the communities and the traditional belief systems truly align with our authentic self, and if anything is taking away from our own sense of power. Because honestly, the modern day Hierophant energy is, there's so much distortion in spiritual groups, communities, religions. There's a lot of bias, a lot of distortion, and a lot of separation from each other and truth. So that's just something to think about. And the Temperance wants us to take the middle path and to be really balanced with our life. So that is a really great question to ask yourself in April, is how you can just create more balance and peace and harmony. The Temperance is also, the Temperance is an angel, and it's like obviously always a good time to connect with your angels, spirit team, guardians, ancestors, all the higher beings of your highest truth. This is a really powerful month to do that. We start the month off with a full moon in Virgo in Vedic astrology in the star called Hasta. Hasta means the hand, and it's so interesting coming after that March month of the Emperor being like, we are in control, we consciously, intentionally create our reality, because this first full moon to start off the month is a lot to do with creating our reality, like with our hands. Like we can manifest and we can create and we can build tangible results in our life through practical means of creating, of hard work, of discipline, of actually like with our mind as well, like the thoughts that we think and what we focus on, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which has a lot to do with the mental. And another thing with the Virgo full moon, which will be happening 1st or 2nd of April depending on where you live, is Virgo can be seen as this one foot of the angel which is on the earth, because Virgo is an earth sign. It's really connected to the earth and also to harvest, and like there's all like there's flowers, there's grass, there's all this nature in the back. That's very Virgo. The previous new moon was on March 18th in Pisces, which Pisces is on the opposite end of the axis to Virgo. So they're both teaching each other a lot and asking us to balance out this two ends of like this same polarity, but just on two different ends. And you can see the Pisces as being like this one foot of the angel in the water. Pisces is a water sign, and Pisces is all about intuition and emotions and feeling and sensitivity and being like really tapped into the spiritual side of life, to the dreams, to the astral, to energies. And Virgo is way more about physical, tangible feelings, like in the body, being more integrated and embodied, and the feelings of sensitivity that you get more in your body. Like Virgo is very sensitive to the energetics playing out in your body, like your nervous system and your gut. And these sorts of things can come up and should be coming up right now. The importance of balancing out both of those two extremes. It is super important to be aware of spiritual energies and the things going on in the subtle realms which affect us just as deeply, even though we can't see them with these two eyes, we see them with our third eye. And then with the Virgo energy, it's more about the actual tangible feelings in our body, and also creating and being more logical and grounded and structured, connected to nature and to like our daily routines and our actual like our health, and like just being more structured and organized and focusing on the little meticulous things of our day-to-day life, which are really, really important and will help us grow. And so yeah, that balance is coming up, that need for balance, and the Temperance card is asking us to find a middle path in both of those realms and not being too much in the clouds of Pisces, which is really like can be in a dream world sometimes of just having so many visions and ideas and being really connected to everything, to all consciousness, and like this boundaryless, empathetic, like waves of emotion, just like constantly just like taking you and like flowing with that is really great. But this Virgo full moon is going to illuminate where we need to be more grounded and where we need to be more in touch with our body and the sensitivities of our body, and like I said, like gut health, nervous system stuff, and also like mental, like mind to body connection, because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Hasta, the star, is ruled by the moon, so there's going to be that mind to body connection as well, which we can really help channel and balance out through practical spiritual ways like breath work and meditation and yoga. But I'll go more into that in a separate video about the full moon. And then we'll have a new moon as well towards the end of April. I believe it's on April 17th in Aries in Ashwini Nakshatra. So that is like so like new start, new beginning, new life starts on that day, because Aries is literally like the sign of new beginnings. And it's interesting in April as well, there's a lot of Piscean energy moving into that Aries energy, and that transition, like for example with the sun, which the sun has been in Pisces since March 15th and will be in Pisces until April 15th, and then it moves into Aries. Mercury is in Pisces from April 11th onwards. Mars is in Pisces from April 3rd, and Venus is in Aries from March 26th up until April 19th. So that's really interesting. There is like a lot of Piscean energy, but a lot of transition into Aries energy. And the transition of Pisces to Aries is very much like so dramatic, because it's the last sign of the zodiac moving into the very first sign of the zodiac. So we're really completing old cycles this month of April and moving into new energy, especially when it comes to our inner world, like our emotional place, because of the new moon happening on April 17th. But also with the sun, which is our sense of our entire identity and the way that we shine our light and feel in our sense of power and authority and masculine presence. And then also Venus, so there's going to be a lot of transformations around how we connect with love, with relationships and self-love, and obviously our connection to ourselves as well, and also money and just like all the things that we love and desire. So that's really interesting. And the swap of Mars being in Pisces and Venus being in Aries. So Mars is the masculine planet and it will be in a very feminine sign, and Venus is a feminine planet being in that masculine sign. So that just indicates another like temperance energy of needing to balance out our own divine masculine and feminine energies, and also seeing the power of both, like for example, when it comes to Mars taking action in using the powerful qualities of the feminine way to take intuitive aligned action is what Mars in Pisces calls us to be, and Venus in Aries calls us to be in such a powerful like warrior like feminine energy of being so badass in our feminine energy and feeling really empowered in our feminine, and being a leader when we feel called to, being passionate, being fiery, being confident, courageous, following our desires, like all of that powerful Aries energy, which Aries is traditionally a masculine sign, but there's so much like powerful feminine wisdom in the sign of Aries that we will be feeding into. So yeah, that's basically most of the things I think I wanted to share for April. It's going to be a really powerful month of shifting into our new life and releasing old paradigms, like really starting that new chapter on April 17th with the Aries new moon, and I will make a separate video about that soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, other than that, I hope that you all have such a beautiful month. I'd love to hear how you've all been going and what's been coming up for you all with the like post eclipse portal, and now like really well into way with the fire horse year. I'd love to hear what's been coming up for you all. I feel I can sense that like things are really moving forward really quickly, and it is creating like kind of like a vortex of powerful shifts, which is really dramatically forcing the darkness of the world to kind of purge out of the system, and it's being brought to light. And I do feel like it is a really weird time right now in the world. There's so much darkness, but I choose not to focus on it intentionally, not going to be distracted by it, just aware enough to know what's going on and actively try and transmute it with prayers and good intentions every day. But yeah, I hope that you're all doing really well considering what all the stuff that is happening. I'm sending you all so much love as well and gratitude for watching my channel and supporting me, and I hope that I can support you all as well. But yeah, sending my love, and I will see you all soon.